we happened to walk in as there was an open seat, which I guess the place is normally
really
packed.
hard to get seats
You normally
in there,
can't get a seat in there. And we sat next to two Americans that moved down there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And they're
cool.
like, you just got in here just super lucky. I don't know how you got a table, like, or how you got a chair at the bar. We're like, really? They're like, yeah, this place is never available to get in.
Welcome to Jump Podcast. I'm your host, Traveling Jackie, and I'm here to explore travel, adventure, and lifestyle in ways meant to motivate you to move and experience the world outside your comfort zone and to do big, courageous things with your one life. Let this show be a source of advice and inspiration, and remember that in the end, it's you who takes the leap. Hey everyone, thanks for being here today. I've got kind of an insider episode for you in that my guests today started as podcast listeners, just like you, and they then began showing up for my Jump Adventures trips, and ultimately, I got to plan their honeymoon for them. And yes, for the record, custom trips are absolutely something that we do at Jump Adventures. So if you like what you hear today, keep that in mind and head over to jumpadventures.com to learn more about our custom trips. So we're going to talk about the natural progression that led to their honeymoon and what they got to do, because of course they did Patagonia, which was an absolute dream for all of us. And you'll find out why, other than the obvious, as we go. So let's start by introducing our guests today. We have Sarah and Seth. Thank you guys so much for sharing your time with us, and welcome to the other side of the podcast.
Thanks for having us, Jackie.
Thank you, Jackie. We're excited to be here.
Yeah, of course. It's always fun for me to invite listeners to come onto the show because it feels so full circle and like something's really working around here. You know what I mean? So yeah, why don't you give us a little bit of background on you guys? Who are you? Where do you live? What do you do, et cetera, just so that our listeners can kind of get an idea of who we're talking to.
All right, I'll start us off. We are Sarah and Seth, as you just mentioned, and we live now up in New Hampshire, small town up here. We've just moved out of Boston to get a little more outdoorsy, so this has been a fun transition these past few months. I'm a trainer at a gym, and Sarah is a PA at an orthopedics office, works with spine, which is pretty intense. So it's nice to get out on these fun trips that Jackie plans to kind of get out of there. But yeah, that's kind of like the long story short of who we are, I guess. But
okay.
Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, we lived in Boston, but we've always liked hiking and being outdoors, and we have 2 dogs, so I think that's a lot of what definitely drew us to you was the adventure aspect of your trips, for sure.
We're so grateful to Osprey Packs for partnering with us and supporting the podcast, so please stay tuned for more about them later on. I have an opportunity for you to join me in real life for some real travel. Here's the latest Jump Adventures update. We are going to Greece for a bike and boat island hopping adventure this May 9th to 16th, 2025, and we still have space left. Check out jumpadventures.com to learn more and book now. We're going to have a yacht all to ourselves with ensuite cabins on board, so you get to sleep in the same bed every night as we start in Athens and make our way west toward the island of Corfu. You'll have your own bike for the week, e-bike if you want one, for cycling the islands as we go, in between meals crafted by our private chef on board, and all the relaxing you want to do on the top deck under the Mediterranean sun. These bike and boat adventures are our most carefree and relaxed trips. All you have to do is say yes and show up, and there's still space. Head over to jumpadventures.com to grab your spot now, and we'll see you there. Because you, Sarah, you were the one that listened to the podcast starting, do you know when?
I went on your Patagonia trip in 2019, and that was from, actually, you just mentioned listeners coming on the podcast. I listened to the episode with Brittany about Patagonia that you did, like, long time ago, and that was what first inspired me to come on your Patagonia trip. Yeah, I think that was back in 2019.
It was.
Okay.
It was right before we started dating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that, because then, Sarah, so 2019, that was your first time in Patagonia. You guys had just started dating around then. And then you've been on, I think, 5 trips now that I've done, which is wild. Or maybe 4 group trips. And then you guys are both going to come on Norway this year.
Yes.
So that's,
Sure are.
We're really looking forward to that.
So am I. I'm so excited for that. Going back to that first trip in Patagonia, what was it that made you say, this is for me, this is what I'm going to do? Like, I know you said you listened to that episode, but what was it that drew you to Patagonia? Because that region, it's like, it speaks to people. And so I'm curious, like, what was it for you that said, hey, you need to do this?
Honestly, I was listening to the podcast with you and Brittany, and there was a point where she had like written out a description because she'd been down there a long time, and she like read through it, and then you read through yours, and you guys just described it as like magical. Like it was just so different than anywhere else you had been. It was so special. And yeah, you just kept saying like it was magical, and I was like, I love the mountains. I love being outside. I'd never even considered going down to Chile before. I hadn't really traveled a lot before I jumped on that trip with you, and I was like, I need to go here. Like, I have no reason not to go. She's going to plan the whole thing. I just have to sign up. Like, I don't have anyone to go with, but that's fine because she already has a group. I was like, I'm just gonna go for it. And I remember messaging with you on Instagram, and I was like, I don't know if I can get time off. And you were like, I think you can. Like, just ask, just do it. And I was like, I'm nervous. And you were like, just go for it. And I did. And it was a lot of fun. And everyone at work was like, you're crazy. You're going to go like all the way to South America by yourself. And you don't even know this girl. I was like, yeah, but it'll be fun.
And how was it?
Yeah, it was awesome.
What did you do on that trip? What was that trip like? What do you remember the highlights of that trip?
That was when we were in Aysén, which was just so beautiful. Kayaking. Yeah, the kayaking was amazing. I remember the polar caves. Those were beautiful. Probably my favorite day, though, was remember when we took the boat like across to that island and we camped for the night? Yes. And then they took us over to the glacier and we got to like walk on the glacier. Oh, we did the ice climbing too. Remember that? Yeah. That was really cool.
Yep. I remember getting to the top.
That part was so cool because remember they put us in the cars, like in the trucks, and they didn't tell us where we were going. We just drove through the woods. We got out of the cars. We walked for what, like 8-9 miles. It was pretty far. Yeah. Took a boat that was just like in the middle of nowhere. I was like, how's there a boat all the way out here? Remember that?
Yes, because didn't they have like oxen pull it out there or something like that?
I think so. But remember one of them had the motor like on his backpack. Like he was carrying it.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. That's so that other people can't steal a boat. Yeah.
Yes.
Because it just sits out there. Yeah. The super remote region. That was absolutely the highlight for me too. The same like 2 days that I think we had a full moon rise that night.
Oh, it was beautiful. I still have photos that I think Dennis took.
Yeah.
That were like beautiful, like with the stars and the tents and stuff. Yeah.
So was it, did it live up to the Patagonia magic that you thought?
Oh, it exceeded my expectations, obviously, because I wanted to go back there for our honeymoon. I was like, I have to go back to this place.
Yeah. So actually, let's talk about that because we actually tried to do we tried to set up your honeymoon, but it was during COVID. And so we had to. So
I was going to propose.
It was one of your trips.
Oh,
that got canceled.
Yeah.
Well, we had.
Or maybe there just weren't enough people, but we still tried.
Yeah. I remember because it was just the two of you. We were going to send the two of you down on that biking trip. And I thought that was going to be, Yeah. And we had to end up.
You couldn't get verified your vaccine through the Chilean government.
You needed that COVID vaccine pass, and mine never came in time.
So it was such a bummer.
Mine from the local CVS did, though. Who would have known?
Right.
I worked in a hospital and I couldn't get one.
Yeah. But you were still set on doing Patagonia for your honeymoon.
Yes.
And what were you imagining for your honeymoon? I mean, I know, Sarah, you'd seen it. Seth, you hadn't been down there yet. What were you imagining? Like, what did you want out of this trip?
I think we kind of wanted a mix of adventure and hiking and seeing different places, but I remember saying to you we also kind of want it's our honeymoon, do you have a suggestion for a nicer hotel or part of the trip to be a little more relaxing and So we kind of wanted like both extremes, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love
Get a
So we
that.
didn't make it easy for you.
Get a little bit
No.
of the luxury, but the Patagonia experience all in the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nailed it, though. Nailed it.
That was easy for me, actually. I was so excited to be able to plan that for you. Like, I know exactly where you need to go.
I was nervous to ask you because I was like, she's going to be like, I don't really do that, or like, I don't really know. And you were like, yes. Like, when do you want to talk about this?
It's like my dream. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I have spent so much time down there with groups, but also without, months on end exploring through all 3 of those regions. And there's so much that is not included in our group itineraries that when you came and you said that, I'm like, finally, I can send somebody else to do something that we don't normally include, but is absolutely beautifully mind-blowing. And so let's talk about what you guys actually did, because we came up with such a cool itinerary for you. You did the O Circuit in Torres del Paine National Park, and then you also got to do the ranch experience for a few extra days, and you got to stay at one of the nicest hotels down there for your little relaxing bit.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
That hotel was insane. Yeah. It was beautiful.
Was there anything that surprised you about that trip, actually? Like, what happened when you landed at the airport?
Well, Jackie crashed our
after
honeymoon.
we got our bags? And some girl with like long, dark, flowing hair just like accosted me as I was walking out of the airport.
Not thinking I'm going to know anybody here, and all of a sudden, boom!
I know. We were like searching around for the guide or like what he was, and I was like, oh my God, I know who that is.
That was so
awesome.
not planned and so amazing. And I was so glad that I knew you guys were going to be excited. I've never crashed a honeymoon before, so I don't make a habit of it. But
I mean, you crashed it like a pro, so I mean,
it was so good. So I happened to be down there. Exactly over the first. Well, I was down there the whole time that you guys were, but I had a trip in the north that I had to get up to. But it just worked out timing wise that I was able to surprise you on the ground when you landed. So that was so much fun. It was so fun to start that with you. But so what did we do? What did you guys get to do for that?
For the rest of the trip?
Yeah. Like, what was it? Tell us about it.
Well,
Also, I was only there for the first couple days. I didn't really crash their whole honeymoon. People are probably listening like, wait, what?
Hung out with Jackie for your honeymoon? That's kind of
weird. We were with you, for 2 nights? Because we
I think
just the first night, and then we went up to the towers.
Yep, that's
which was
right.
beautiful. Yeah.
It was a great day. We got up early, and we got up there before the crowds were, which that was Christian's suggestion.
You and Christian's suggestion, yeah.
We got right on it and got right out there. It was a beautiful hike. Clear skies the whole day.
Mm-hmm. We had great weather that day. Remember, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Warm. Yeah.
You remember. So we did this in Torres del Paine National Park, which is in southern Chile. And this is where I do most of my trips down there. So it was between the W Circuit and the O Circuit. You guys chose the O Circuit because...
It was longer. It had some more cool things, and
I think I wanted to do like the remote backside of the W too. I didn't want to just do the W.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And you were willing to sleep in tents even during your honeymoon.
Yep. Even during the honeymoon.
Which is a thing, but hey, it's part of the experience. You can't do the O Circuit without sleeping in tents. So
little did we know that sleeping in the tents is right before the hardest day, but it's what it is.
Yeah,
that's good. The John Gardner Pass, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that night, yeah.
Yeah, right before the John Gardner Pass. Yeah.
That's like a 4 a.m. wake up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Get breakfast and hit the road.
Okay,
I mean, sleeping in tents, but I have to say the food on the O Circuit was really good the whole time. Mm-hmm. Like those meals that they prepare for you, I was impressed.
Like what?
Breakfasts and dinners were really good. What was the first night we were at? The tents that were like up off the ground.
Yeah, sit on.
They were like camper truck tents that they put on stilts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the food there was really good.
Mm-hmm.
What did you eat?
Really good.
What did we eat there?
Was it salmon? Because I remember eating salmon there one night, and it was so good.
We had chicken.
I think it was chicken.
that day.
Okay.
But it was like a lemony chicken with like rice, and she had like a soup and a salad
Oh,
and
yeah,
a
there was a
dessert. Like it was
multi-course
like
meal. Yep.
for being kind of out in the middle of nowhere, it was really impressive.
Yeah.
I
And
love
then, of
that,
course,
especially.
Christian had like I don't know how many bottles of wine he brought with him for.
He's a pack mule.
Yeah.
hauling them on his back for you guys.
Yes, he wanted it to be the trip that it was supposed to be, but he also wanted it to be honeymoon, so it was great. He always had snacks. He wanted every day for us to have a cocktail hour.
Oh yeah, we had cocktail hour.
We had cocktail
every
hour
day.
no matter where we were, and it consisted of different things.
Some fancy, some not.
Fancy,
like
some
some
not.
was like fancy cheese and like salami, but then other times it was like Doritos and
Yeah,
like
Doritos and like Ho-Hos or something. It was so funny.
That's so great.
He's like, "This is the
Doritos
only
and
thing I can find."
he had like 20 chocolate bars in his bag.
We might still have one in the freezer.
I think we still do. Yeah.
That's
The
so
man,
amazing.
He's extremely prepared.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, we only work with the best, so I'm not surprised at all, and I'm proud. I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
Cool.
He was a surprise every single day. Everything.
He was awesome. Yeah.
Good, because it should be different. You know, it's your honeymoon. It should be above and beyond and unique and special. And I'm glad we got some good weather for you down there too.
Oh yeah, we
did have good weather.
Maybe one day that was not good. Even
Yeah.
the John Gardner Pass. I mean, it was snowy up top, but other than that,
it still
wasn't
wasn't bad.
It was fine.
Yeah, because that's the most unpredictable part about Patagonia.
There were some people that got caught in the snow and couldn't make it. They had to turn back around, I guess.
I think they didn't have a guide and they didn't leave early enough. Yeah. And we obviously got hooked up with the best guide, so
That's
we
right.
didn't have that problem.
Only the best. Only the best around here. So what were some of your like favorite parts about that trip? What all did you guys see? What did you do? What did you experience?
Like from the
O circuit. Mm-hmm.
So one of the disappointing parts was we didn't see a puma.
Oh, we didn't see it.
We
Okay.
didn't.
Now we're gonna have to go
You'll
back.
have to go back. Yeah.
We saw a puma
See a
poop.
puma.
That was about as close as we
Oh,
got.
that was definitely a highlight.
But I think, I don't know, you were really excited about all the flowers all over the place that were really cool. The red
A lot of like open fields and like the fire bushes that they have down there were like in
it's a
bloom that time.
very unique looking color, and they're everywhere. So
The
they're
red
super cool.
like against the blue of the glaciers was really cool.
And this was November. This was over Thanksgiving.
Over Thanksgiving,
Yep.
we landed.
We had Thanksgiving with you.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes, we had Thanksgiving with you.
We
Yes,
did. It was over
We had-
Thanksgiving. That's right.
We had Wanako meat sandwiches in the shuttle.
Super unique.
It was very romantic.
Yeah. and
And-
Calafate,
and-
right?
That's right. I was just gonna say, and the beer,
And the Calafate.
Yes.
Calafate beer.
Because no trip to Patagonia with me is complete without consuming the Calafate, of course.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Trying to think what
I
else.
think my favorite, the last day when Christian took us on, because we stayed an extra night at those cabins.
Yeah.
They were like super cool, by the way. That cabin was awesome with like the little fireplace in there.
Oh yes, we did the French.
Christian
We did the
took
French
us
Valley
up,
the first day.
Yeah. Christian took us up his own like
That was for sure.
Trail.
That was. Yeah,
he called it Christian's Trail.
Danner Valley, or whatever it's called.
Botter Valley.
Botter Valley, yeah.
Botter Vallay.
Yeah.
And we're going up there, and he's just like looking around, walk this way, look around, looks that way, and I'm not seeing any trail. And so I had Christian.
was no trail.
What trail is this? He goes, "This is Christian Trail."
We
It's
were
like,
oh
great.
my God.
It's not very frequented that area. I've never even hiked up into Vadar Valley, but I knew that you guys would want to because you're both just beasts on the trails. So let's
So that
sign
was
them
the
up
only
for
day
it.
that we had bad weather, of course.
It was a little
Right.
He was
You had
he
to
was
be
so
weird.
upset. I felt bad because he
Yeah.
really wants us to see some views, but when we got up there, it was windy and snowing and raining, and it was
couldn't really see anything.
couldn't see anything.
You know what,
You know
though?
what? It was still like super fun because
very
he
fun.
had like
Yeah.
sandwiches and like lunch packed, and weren't we all like huddling
Yes, we
like,
have
under
some
a rock
ve-
like from the
We
wind?
have some very
Yeah.
epic pictures of our lunch trip where we look like we're in
We do have some badass
the middle of
pictures,
some bad country.
I feel like if you don't get that kind of weather, then you're not really experiencing the real Patagonia because
Right.
that's part of it. The wind, the rain, the snow, the sunshine, the cold, the warmth, all of it, all at once. That's Patagonia. You know, you just can't, if you get all bright, sunshiny days, you are absolute magic. Like you should probably never leave because that's just not normal down there. So I think you guys got pretty lucky as it was.
On the way back from that, the winds were starting to pick up as the weather was moving in, and it was windy. And instead of Christian making his own trail, he just beelined it down the mountain.
Straight down the mountain.
Sarah got knocked over, twice.
Yeah, I was like falling over. It was so windy.
Yeah.
It's like, she's going to go. She's going to go off the mountain, and I'm going to be single at my honeymoon.
Oh, no. Yeah. I remember walking, this was in Argentina, but the wind was so strong once that we were walking like straight on a flat path, and the wind was so strong that my right foot, like I would pick up my right foot to take a step, and it would get blown into my left foot, and I would trip over myself because you like it's just
tripping on yourself.
It's insanely strong.
The wind's no joke. You don't think that it's going to be that intense, but it gets moving.
It absolutely is. Like if you lose your backpack cover, it's gone. It's just gone in the blink of an eye. If it blows off your backpack, everything has to be secured. But
we walked out on that beach there after that, and my hat, as soon as you walked on the beach, the wind's coming down that beach. As soon as we stepped out there, my hat just gone.
Oh no. Gone.
Christian grabbed it.
Christian found it though.
Wow.
He watched where it went into the bushes and went and grabbed it.
Wow.
But yeah, the wind is definitely no joke down there.
It embraces you to your soul.
Yeah, it does.
I love it.
What does Rafa say? It's the land of the wind.
The land of the wind, yes, but in his accent. I can't do it.
I can't do it either.
Patagonia, the land of the wind. Yeah, it's true. But you get the wind of the world because it's coming all the way across the Pacific Ocean, and there's like nothing to stop it. So it just slams right into Patagonia.
Full speed ahead.
That's why you trip over yourself. It's great, though. It's like so unique.
As long as you're ready for it. You get knocked down a few times. You're like, okay, I got it.
I got this. You got to figure out how to stand. Tripod. The
wind's for real.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, so coming out of the, you guys also trekked on the glacier, right? You did the glacier trekking.
Great Glacier,
We did get out there for that.
That was really cool too.
That was cool. The guides, one of the guides had gone ahead and found a cave, so we got to go down into a cool cave, little crevasse thing. That was really cool that he said that they don't always get to find, so that was a really cool experience.
We had good weather that day too.
Another great weather day.
That was the same place you got to drink the whiskey with the glacier ice.
Yeah, that was when we got back from there. Once again, Christian prepared. He has a bottle of Jack Daniels. And he goes and scoops out a chunk of glacier that's floating in the water, and we just had a drink and got to sit on the lake and had a good time.
You never forget your first whiskey over glacier ice.
No. It'll never be the same ever again either. I'm not sure I'll ever drink Jack Daniels again. It's not fair.
Yeah, just let it be in its perfect little time capsule right there. Yeah, I love that.
Oh, man, I'm terrifying. On the way back from the ice, the glacier, one of the guides for that fell in the water.
Oh, yeah.
He
was like running along the edge of the boat.
Trying to like tie things off, and he bloop right into the water.
Oh, no. They grab him out.
How long could he be in there? Like, what's going on here?
It's cold, man.
I felt
glacial.
Bad. Yeah.
Yikes.
Poor guy.
I mean, I'm sure that it happens. They know what they're doing. And
They did, yeah.
They immediately.
They grabbed him out
fast.
Clearly.
At least it wasn't one of the clients, honestly.
Yeah.
That would have been a real bummer.
Yeah, no kidding. So, yeah, Torres del Paine, do you guys think you'll go back?
I would go back, because what was the day we didn't make it all the way up to the top?
That was French Valley. Also,
French Valley,
we also
French
did.
Valley, you know the really long day where you get to hike all the way to the top? It was very cloudy that day.
It was cloudy.
So we didn't make it all the way to the top. But even the views from, halfway where we were amazing. So I can't imagine from the top.
That was December 1st, and it was snowing.
We definitely need to go back and see that.
Yeah, French Valley. It's interesting because I've done this circuit and the W and the O circuit multiple times, and it's just different every single time because not just because of the weather, also because you said it about the ice caves. Every time you go on the glacier, it's a completely different experience because the glacier's changing constantly. Yeah. And so, I mean, there have been times that we've found glacier caves and gotten to go through or gotten to look through windows and things. And there are times that they're just different every single time. Like you can go and have a totally different experience because of, who you're with, the condition of the trails, the weather, all of that changes so fast down there that it really provides for like, it's enticing over and over again. So I can guarantee that if you guys go back
5 more times and it's still nothing will be the same.
Definitely not be bored doing it again for sure.
Did you notice Christian taking pictures too?
Yes.
Like he's done it 8 bajillion times.
Every time.
And he
great.
takes
Flowers.
so many pictures.
Flowers and birds.
Even he would point out things where he's like, oh, I haven't seen this before. Or like, oh, this is really cool. And I'm like, how many times have you done this?
Yeah.
And it's still...
Unique and amazing. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm happy to hear that you guys had a good experience and would want to go back.
We're leaving out some of the highlights here. I feel like we're definitely leaving something out.
I mean, it's so hard because, like, every day was so different, but they were all, like, just unique highlights. Like, remember the day we walked through the kind of, like, forest? It was more green. Christian really liked that day. There was a bunch of, like, birds that he kept pointing out.
That was after
It was
we
like the
stayed.
third or fourth day.
Third day. That was after we stayed at those
Yeah.
the camper tents.
Yeah.
That was on that trek. That was kind of a long day, distance-wise.
I mean, I think the O Circuit is so cool because every day is so different. Like, it's very unique. Like, the scenery is different. Like, whether you're doing more elevation or, like, more, like, kind of flat. Like, it just, every day is, like, very, very unique. So that's, I think, what makes it so, like, it's so fun.
Oh, the bridges. Those were terrible.
Oh, you hated the bridges. I love the
The
bridges.
suspension bridges. They should just take those out. They should make a
No.
truck around.
Christian and I were running across, like, not holding on, and Seth was, like, holding on for
I think
dear
I still
life.
have scars on my hands from squeezing those cables so hard.
think
I do too,
Christian
Seth.
Great video of you holding on for dear life.
Yep.
Dude, I feel you, Seth. You know what I can tell you with confidence? The second time you do it is easier.
I believe it.
It gets better. It does get better, which is kind of a crazy thing, but that's real.
First one was hard, and then it
Yeah,
started getting... Then once you get through one of them.
Yeah. But then there's people like Sarah who they're just having the time of their life. They're out there taking
Across,
selfies.
hey, can you speed up?
Yeah.
Heights must be one of those things. They just either bother you or they don't. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to explain. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gorgeous, though. I actually have a picture of, Kelly. Kelly was on one of my Patagonia trips, and she took a picture of Christian was actually holding my hand. I made him because I wouldn't cross by myself. I was so, I needed moral support. I needed it. And I needed someone to keep me going because I was afraid of stopping. And so she somehow got this epic photo of the two of us. Like he's in front of me, like dragging me along. And it ended up being this really cool image of like the glacier behind us.
Yeah.
And we're just on the suspension bridge. Like, I mean, it's high up. You can really
It's
see
high,
how.
and it's a really
Yeah.
long
Up there.
bridge.
And
It's
the
a
pictures
big
don't,
bridge.
as always, don't do it justice at
Yeah.
all how high you are.
It
But
was
it's
cool to
doable.
see the
You can do it.
bridges, like, yeah. Oh, yeah. When you were out on Grey Glacier and then looking back, seeing how big those bridges are and how they're just like hanging almost out. I don't know. Just you're like, whoa, we walked across that.
Yeah, you're over a big large
Ravine.
gap, which I would love to see how they put those together.
Not easily.
I don't want to see
That would,
Might be better not to know.
yeah, I'd watch it on TV. I don't want to be there for it, but
helicopters. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. But Christian he's so good. He like is just so chill and
Yes.
you know him way better than we do, but just so like easygoing and helpful and he's funny too.
please.
He definitely
His
is.
sense of humor is pretty funny.
Were you glad that you had a guide out there?
Oh God, yes.
Oh my gosh,
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely. There were
That
some
made
people.
such a difference.
There were some people without guides that were blitzing through the trail, and they'd get to the next stop before us, and they'd get to their after hike beer before us. But we had a great experience at learning all these things about plants and animals and taking stops. Like, oh, there's a view if you sneak through the woods right here, and people are just running right by these spots. And without a guide, we would never have saw them. We would have been the same people, just kind of walking on a regular day trail, but it's in Patagonia.
Well, I think we enjoyed the experience so much more because he knew like what time we needed to leave and like
Yes, that was
roughly
very
how
helpful.
long it was going to take us if we wanted to get there at like a reasonable time to like shower and have a snack before dinner. So you weren't like stressed the whole time that you were like running out of time or getting lost or missing anything. So it was much more like enjoyable, and you could just like hike and enjoy it.
He also knew you had to check in for dinner ahead of time and stuff like that.
Yeah,
which
he was really on top of that.
No way we would have known that.
Yeah.
Right.
Or he knew the places that had like hot showers, so you want to get there a little early, or like, you know what I mean? Like he knew all these things that like we wouldn't have known.
Yeah, no
we never
chance.
would have known. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was I think that was a game changer for sure.
I think
I
that
love
was
to
the
hear
second
that.
factor of us like saying, let's do guides from here on. Like if we're gonna go somewhere fun and cool, let's like get the most out of it. And I spend a little bit more money getting a guide, but it's gonna pay off tenfold on the experience.
We'll come right back to that. Let's take a moment now to thank our wonderful show sponsors. During the month of April, join me and Obo's Footwear for the fun and friendly Trails for Trees Challenge, an invitation to hike as many trails as you can in the entire month of April. For every hike over a mile, Obo's will plant a tree, and you get entered to win weekly prizes. So the more you hike, the more trees you will help plant, and the more chances you have to win. It's free, and you can register and join anytime from April 1st to April 30th. It's open to walkers, hikers, runners, and people using mobility assistive devices. Find out more and join us at trailsfortrees.com. Osprey is the market leader in technical outdoor, travel, and everyday packs. And I've personally used Osprey packs since 2015. My favorites are the Fairview Trek 50 for multi-day hikes, the Cirrus 24 for day hikes, the Transporter Rolling Duffel 60, which is my trusty check luggage for faraway adventures, and of course, the countless packing cubes I use to organize everything that goes in them. We are proud to support each other on the podcast and beyond. We love getting outside, and we want to see more people outdoors. So find out more and join us at osprey.com. Absolutely. I love to hear that because I agree with you 100%, 1,000%. I mean, I've done so much individual travel that I get it. I know like what's great about it, but add a guide into the mix and everything changes. I mean, you have this connection to the land that you just don't have otherwise, period. And that comes with so many things, like what you said, like all the things that you said, and just stories and facts. And I mean, even just getting to know someone who grew up there, someone who's from there, who loves this place, who can tell you and answer your questions when things come up. Like it completely changes the experience. So I'm so glad that you guys came away with that feeling about having the guide on the O circuit. Like I definitely agree.
And especially places where you don't know the language very well.
Oh yeah.
It's massive. That's huge.
Yeah.
Especially down there. I mean, there's like some English, but especially on some spots on the O circuit, I mean, there was not much English. I mean, we could have figured it out, but it was definitely
Just made it easier.
Really helpful to have.
Yeah, sure.
Helpful.
Did you learn any Spanish?
A little, but now that we don't use it, it's gone.
Yeah.
Caballo.
Oh yeah, Christian taught you that.
What was it?
Horse poop.
You learned all the really helpful phrases from Christian.
I love it. As
Learned
you
that
do.
day one. Didn't forget it.
You wouldn't. You still remember.
It's everywhere.
Oh man. Okay. So after you did the O circuit, we sent you to do some fancy things. So tell us a little bit more about how the rest of the trip went.
Yeah, from the O circuit, we went to the Singular, right, the hotel, and I think we were there for 3 nights, 2 nights,
2 or 3 nights.
Yeah, and I mean, we're not usually like fancy hotel people, but we were like, let's just do it for a few nights, and like that hotel is just so cool because it's so unique and like old. Like we just walked around, I think one day for like 2 hours, like looking at like the history in there and
they had signs and placards up about the history of that being like a sheep shearing factory or something.
Yeah,
it was like a meat processing place too.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, meat processing plant, something involving animals.
Yep.
And we walked around inside, we walked around outside. Because another beautiful
gorgeous.
day.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
And there's a little beach there. Not when I would swim in, but cause there's glass and stuff everywhere. But
I mean, the rooms, they're unbelievable. Like, the whole front is just glass, so you can just see, like, the ocean and the mountains. Yeah. So it was just, like, a really unique, like, not a huge room, but, like, the view is just, like, unbelievable. Yeah. Like, you could just sit in your room and read and look out the window.
For sure.
It was beautiful, yeah.
And have hot showers whenever you want, which coming off of the O circuit, it's just a nice thing, right?
I feel like the hot shower's the size of our dining room. The thing was huge.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Nice.
was huge.
And you ate really well there, right?
The food was amazing.
Yeah, I was going to say the dining experience was second to none.
Did you try anything new there? Because they've got a lot of interesting things on their menu.
I feel like you're more adventuresome. You tried some new stuff.
I was trying things I would normally not get. I got, I feel like it was a suggestion from you. There was something I should try. Maybe it was you or Christian, one of the two.
Christian suggested something.
It ended up being good. And I got crab. I mean, I was on the ocean. I was getting seafood, whatever they had for seafood. And
I wasn't as adventuresome, but the food was still really good.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the dining experience there as well, and just being kind of blown away by what was on offer. It's like super adventurous if you want to be, but like Wanako and
I had Wanako one night.
I did a lot of crab and stuff
or something.
Yeah. Okay, so Fancy Pants Days.
Fancy Pants Days. Yeah.
That was
remember
good.
The spa downstairs where there was like the pool and you could like swim under, and then you were outside, and that was all like glass on the front too. It was beautiful. Yeah.
To do a spa experience. That was much different than the backcountry of the O.
Yeah. We really went from one extreme to the other. That's for sure.
Exactly what you said you wanted was both the extremes.
Both ends of the spectrum for sure.
Yeah.
But I think that was kind of fun though, because like the O, you like enjoyed it because you knew you had like a nice hotel to look forward to. So I think it was kind of fun to have both extremes. Yeah.
Yeah. And
then we went over to the peninsula.
La Peninsula.
La Peninsula. Yeah.
The estancia there.
Yep.
Yeah. You did the 3-day thing over there, huh?
We were there. Yeah.
We were, yeah.
So what was that? What was that about? What did you do?
One of the guides there took us out on horseback over to, they have like a little house, like cabin, I guess you could call it, like on the back side of the island. And it was just like a small, like 2-bedroom with a kitchen.
Yep.
Like little house, like right on the water there. They had Highland cows. Remember the 2 Highland cows they had on the site there?
Yes.
And yeah, we kind of just relaxed there with the guide, and we asked her a ton of questions. We were on horseback a lot.
Is that where you stayed? That little cabin? Is that where you stayed?
Yeah, we stayed there for, I think, 2 nights.
Yeah.
That's super secluded. So that wasn't even close to like the normal spot.
Close at all.
We had to ride on horseback, like a couple of hours to get over there.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
I've
and,
done a horseback
there, and we didn't leave. We stayed there for 2 nights. It was so quiet.
Okay, so just hiking and horseback riding and like
mostly horseback riding.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
wow.
Which neither of us had ever ridden a horse before.
No.
So.
That's such a Patagonia experience.
Yeah, riding a white horse in the woods of Patagonia. Once again, just like I'm not drinking Jack Daniels again, I'm never going to ride a horse again. It's not going to compare.
No.
Do you remember your horses?
Pictures of us like riding like white horses with like these huge mountains
in
the background,
sideways.
And, like, it doesn't even look like real life.
Oh my gosh, you might have to share that picture with me. I want to see it.
I think I took it off the back of my horse, so I got the head looking over the water.
Nice. The turquoise water and the glaciers and
yeah. Very Patagonia is what it felt like.
Also
riding
terrifying. Horses are fearless. They'll just go right down the side of a mountain.
Oh yeah.
And you sitting up on top of them, looking down way over it, and it's just trot, 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 going down the side of the mountain. Like, oh my god, I'm going down. Here it is. This is it.
We had a lot of confidence.
It's going to tip over. She was very confident.
I was like, girl, I've never ridden a horse before.
She was very patient with our horse riding.
Well, I'm sure they get that all the time.
Yeah.
But it's great that you guys were able to do it. That's a working ranch, so that's like a legit place that you went, and those horses and the cattle dog. Did you get to see the sheep?
Yeah, the
shearing?
last day
they did the sheep herding. They did the sheep shearing, and we had
they did like the demonstration with the dogs.
Yep.
Like herding the cattle.
The whistles.
That's cool.
That's incredible. The dogs react to like certain length of whistles, certain number of whistles.
Like immediately.
I can't even get my dog to sit when I want it to.
Trained dogs, yeah. These dogs will put our dogs to shame.
Oh God, yes,
for sure.
Yeah.
And we had the
asada.
Asada. Yeah, we had an asada.
Yeah, they had an asada before we left. The food there was really, really good too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like all the food down in Patagonia is so good because it's a lot of like home cooking or like really fresh.
Yes. We had
Like
great
produce was fresh.
produce every day.
Like, I mean, even just like eggs down there are so much better than here because they're like so fresh, like right off the farm.
Yeah.
You fed a baby sheep?
Oh, I did feed a baby sheep.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a baby
He
sheep.
gave us a bottle to feed the baby sheep.
Yep. Its
So
mother
sweet.
got eaten by a predator of some sort, and so.
I don't remember that part of the story.
Oh, sorry, I didn't have to say that.
That's also Patagonia, though. It's all wild
Yeah,
down
that's
there.
true.
It's
Nature.
so wild.
Yeah.
I mean,
So that was
chances
a really
were.
cool experience. I feel like that was a good experience to do towards the end of the trip. And I think that was your suggestion because it was obviously not like that super nice hotel, but it was still nice. Like we had hot shower and bed, but it was just a little bit slower. Like we weren't hiking a bunch of miles every day. Like you'd go out on horseback for a couple hours and then we'd come back and just read or hang out or talk to the guide. So it was a good, it was like a good couple days, like a way to end the trip for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Although
so
we
we had,
totally
like,
ended there. We had one more night in
In Natalis.
Puerto Natales. Yeah. Remember you found that bar?
Oh yeah, from a guide from the estancia.
Oh, yeah, one of her recommended it.
She suggested to go to this cocktail bar that is known for their homemade specialty cocktails of some sort, and we happened to walk in as there was an open seat, which I guess the place is normally
really hard to
packed.
get seats
You
in
normally
there,
can't
I
get a
guess.
seat in there, and we sat next to two Americans that moved down there.
Oh yeah, that's right. That
And
was
they're
cool.
like, you just got in here just super lucky. I don't know how you got a table, like, or how you got a chair at the bar. We're like, really? They're like, yeah, this place is never available to get in. We're like, oh, oops.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Well, do you remember what it was called? Do you
We
remember
will
what
look it up and
I
definitely
have glasses.
let you know.
I bought glasses.
Yeah,
from
because
there,
you did get 2 glasses from there.
But it wasn't the gin distillery, right? Or was it? Last Hope Gin? It wasn't
Yes.
the gin.
Yes.
Oh, Last Hope.
Oh.
It was Last Hope.
Yeah.
It was. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you've
Yeah.
been there too?
I have been there, but I actually, so I've had both the opposite extremes of what you had. I went there right after they opened, and so they weren't super busy. And that was when I first tried it, and they have Calafate gin.
Yes. We got a couple.
But then
cocktails.
the last time I was down there, we tried to go, and we stood outside in a line for 25 minutes before deciding we're not going to, because no one had moved. The line was like 5 people long, and no one had gone in
and they
25
keep the door
minutes.
closed, so you can't even
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
The
did get
people we're talking
lucky.
to said that they got they were on a TV show like a Best Bars of the World or something.
Yeah.
And after that, once that happened, I can't remember what he said the show was, but after that, the place has been mobbed.
That's what happens.
Yep.
That's what happens. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys got to go. Did you bring back a bottle of gin?
No, our bags are pretty
didn't
packed, and I
have
think as
bags.
close as we could
Like
do was
full.
the.
You did get some glasses,
I got
though.
I got 2 little rocks glasses.
Yeah.
Which
Nice.
nice.
A nice little souvenir from the honeymoon. How exciting. I think that trip had a good cadence, like starting out, because you're excited when you first get down there. You're like, got all this energy. You just want to see everything. And so starting with O Circuit was, I think, a really good start for you because you got to like do all this exciting stuff right off the bat.
Yeah.
Use your physical energy, and then you're exhausted enough to actually want to stay at a place that just caters to you for a few days. And then as you recharge, like get back out and do one more like super Patagonia experience before heading out.
Yes.
So that was so fun. It was so fun to like plan and watch you go and do that trip. And I'm just so happy that it all worked out. And
Yeah. It all came together like perfectly. Like it was super easy. We didn't have to worry about like ride pickups or transferring bags or like even between like the hotel and the ranch and then getting to the airport, like everything was like so easy.
Yes. Yep.
So easy. Yeah.
We actually where were we? We were in between going to the estancia and at the hotel. Remember, we went to the coffee shop that the transfer guy had said. We saw 2 people that we saw on the O Circuit there.
oh yeah.
We bumped
We
into a lot of
bumped
same
into the people that were on the O Circuit, and they happened to be in this little tiny coffee shop. And so we talked to them for a couple minutes, and just a cool, that community of like hiking and travelers is very friendly and memorable people. Even if you don't remember their names, you remember their faces and or their coat or something that they're like is, and then you chat with them and like you've known them your whole life, which is really cool.
Well, you shared quite an experience, whether you were together a lot or not. You were on the trail at the same time, and there's so much connection that happens out there, and just bonding. That's, I mean, in the backcountry, that even, I mean, I'm sure between you two, you know, between groups, whoever, when we go. With our groups, I mean, you become like a family, whether you knew each other first or not, because when you're out there, you're depending on each other, you're leaning on each other to get through and get to the next spot, and you're helping each other, and you're kind of all in it together. Once you set foot on that trail, that's one way, you know, like you got to come out the other side. So now it's a pretty special thing to accomplish by the time it's all said and done.
And I feel like you said, everybody kind of like helps each other or looks out. Like we ran into those girls who were going back the other way, like just to see the suspension bridges because of where they started or something. But like, I don't know, they just asked like, is it worth going to like the third one, or like, I don't know. Everyone's just so nice and helpful, because I was like, oh yeah, like make the trip, like go all the way to the third one, it's worth it. Or like, I don't know. Everybody's just so like helpful and nice, and
I mean, when you find yourself in such a remote place on a trail like that, there's something that you have in common that like brought you all down there to begin with, you know? So it's not surprising that's what you would take away from that's what you would think. And that is what happens. You meet people that I'm still in touch with people that I met doing the W 9 years ago now, you know, like, or even 10 years ago now. Like there's just people that you didn't know before. And it's just, that's what happens on the backcountry trails like that. That's really special. Yeah.
Kind of along those lines, Annie, who I was on that first Patagonia trip.
Yeah.
And then I was just in Switzerland with. It was kind of cool that I hadn't seen her obviously in 4 years? 5 years?
Yeah.
But like you had us be roommates, and it was crazy. I was like, I feel like I've just been best friends with this girl for like 10 years, because we were like up late, like talking and like laughing. And I was like, I don't know her. I went to Patagonia with her like years ago, and we like hung out for 10 days. But yeah, it was very cool. But I think like you said, you have so much in common that then when you get back together, you're like, oh, this is great. I feel like I've known you forever. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So where do we get to go for honeymoon round 2?
I don't know.
We got to find something though.
We do.
And can I come?
Yeah, sure.
I crash it again?
I don't think we have to ask. I think it's just going to happen.
No,
but
I think if we plan it and you're not there at the airport, we're going to be disappointed. So you kind of have to come.
Sweet. Challenge accepted. I love it.
we will be your test rabbits on anything that you want to try out. We will plan something cool that you think a honeymoon's worthy of, and we'll do it.
Heck yeah. Oh my gosh. I have so many ideas. I feel like that's all I do is research. That's all I do is research, and like go to cool places. And
I mean, anytime people ask us about like thinking about going down to Patagonia, like anywhere down there, I'm like giving out your email.
Let me know.
She's gone down there so many times. Like you just can't plan a Patagonia trip very well by yourself. Like there's not good like websites or contacts, or like you really need someone who knows.
Boots on the ground,
like guides and like so I always throw people your direction. That's for sure.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that, because I do love it. It was really fun. You were one of the first custom trips that we actually sent. We've done some by now, but it was super fun to get into it and to do it for a honeymoon, you know, and because that we got to add some special things around that. So I appreciate it. Thank you for trusting me and for letting me plan your honeymoon, because that was
our pleasure. Thank you for making it happen. I feel like whenever people ask what we did for a honeymoon, they're like first impressed that it's like so unique, but then they're like, oh my God, somebody like planned all of that like just for you, and we're like,
Heck
and it just feels very like important and special.
Yeah, for real. Yes, royalty.
You are. So that's really. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm glad that's how you
I've definitely not run into anyone else who had someone just plan their whole honeymoon.
No.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Well, cool. Is there anything else that you guys want to add? Just lasting thoughts or?
Oh man.
If you haven't been to Patagonia, you need to go.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's the given. That's the takeaway. That should be the title.
You need to go, and you need to have someone who's been down there and knows it well, just to plan it and show you around, and you're gonna love it. Just go. Don't think about it. Just go.
And Sarah kind of saying that I'm more adventurous in the food department, but I didn't always used to be. So that's something I've come to realize, especially as I've been traveling more now that Sarah and I have been together.
Well, you didn't even really travel before we got together.
Didn't, no.
I don't even think you left the United States, did you?
Besides Canada.
Yeah, I don't know if that counts.
It doesn't count because it's hockey, so it wasn't fun. But now I'm just like, I got to try everything. I'm so far behind. So don't get behind. That's my takeaway. Don't get behind. Just try stuff. Try stuff new. Try it. I don't care if it's doing something you're out of your comfort zone. Try different foods. Like that has been so much fun. That's one of my favorite things about all the trips we've been on is trying the local foods, trying things. If a local guide suggests it, there's a reason for that.
Mm-hmm. It's another benefit to having a guide. They can suggest so many things that you would never find by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Truth. Love it. Wise words right there.
We could go on forever about Patagonia.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. Go to Patagonia. Eat fun foods. Don't get behind. Catch up on all the missed travel that you've done.
Exactly. Missed travel, missed experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're on the right track now. I mean,
I
think you guys have each done. Seth, you've done
2.
Norway's going to be. Yeah.
I did Jordan.
Yep. Oh, yeah, you did Jordan.
You also crashed, too, actually. Now that we think about that.
Yeah.
I was on that one, too. I know. I won't let you go anywhere without me.
You showed up on the tail end of that one.
Well, Norway, I'm going to be with you the whole way, so I'm pretty excited about that. That's going to be a first for all of us. So, yeah, cool. I cannot wait.
We can't wait.
Well, thank you both so much for joining me here on the show. It's been just so fun it's fun for me as a podcast host to get to know people, listeners in person and just have becoming friends with you guys over the last handful of years. So I'm definitely looking forward to many more adventures and starting with Norway and continuing with a honeymoon round 2 someday.
Yes, we got to get the 4-wheel campers together too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We'll do a truck trip one of these days. Amazing. We have so many things that we need to start planning. So cool.
Absolutely.
And thank you to the listeners out there for being here with us too. And remember, if you do want to check out our custom trips, you can head over to jumpadventures.com. And meanwhile, thank you, Sarah and Seth, and we'll see you all back here in the next episode.
Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you,
it was
Jackie.
fun.
Bye.
Bye.